after a while, you will begin to understand that what I'm doing with my rants is making sure that each one of these is a completely unscripted note from myself to you. So I have no idea who or if anyone ever really will look at any of these. So I figured I'd just make them and try to teach people a few things that I know not a lot of people are aware of. And if what I'm saying, yeah, well, anyway, this is my how to smoke video. Now, I want you to understand that I am a person who has never touched. I don't use speed, I don't use heroin, I don't use a lot of different things. But I am not here to try to tell you to do them or not to do them. What I will tell you is how to mimic the effects of different things so that you can both enjoy what it's like to be on, I don't know, let's say smack. I know how to look as if I am under the influence of many different chemicals and drugs, but don't actually have to use them myself. So my first one's simply going to be what to look for when it comes to smoking. Now, here in Australia, where I kind of think that I am, we have a problem. We have people taking Mary Jane, one of the most beautiful plants ever created. We take this naturally occurring substance, aka a drug, and by using hydroponics, turn it into a chemical. That's right, that's what I'm telling you. Hydroponically grown gear is no longer simply a drug. By adding different chemicals, which were, let's face it, made in labs, you've now turned your drug into a chemical. And until you actually realize that it's only the outdoor stuff that hasn't been tainted that is the real thing, and it doesn't really matter what you get anyway. I've actually seen people who have mistaken suffocation for actually being under the influence. So let me tell you how to avoid that. And I gotta remember that these videos can only be up to 10 minutes in length, but don't worry. I talk loudly, I think, in my head, but I don't really know if my message gets across clearly or not. So I've got 7 minutes left, and let me just tell you simply and straight up. It doesn't really matter what you're smoking, whether it's indoor, outdoor, whatever. You only maintain the smoke inside your lungs for 1 minute only. And this is simply because after that 1 minute, the activity of whatever it is that you're smoking will cease to be. And the smoke becomes what we refer to as dead smoke. Keeping dead smoke in your lungs is one of the worst things that you could possibly do to yourself. Your lungs are tough, but you keep doing that to yourself, there's all sorts of different health problems you're gonna end up with. And I can speak of this solidly because I have someone that I know, Mr. Teasdale, who is no longer with us because he wasn't aware of these simple facts, and he actually ended up, the doctors in the Australian hospital told us that he died from a blood clot which was caused by smoking Mary Jane. So if you don't believe that smoking can kill you, I have news for you. You're not right. I used to think that the only case of a man dying from old Mary Jane was when I heard about a big, like, basically a haze baled in, a bale of it, weighing God knows how much weight, fell down and broke a man's neck, killing him like that. But I hate to think about it, but old Gordon, he died the same way. And I shouldn't have said his name, but I'm allowed to say the man's name because he's no longer with us. And I have a respect for people who have passed on that's very much unlike people like myself. Whoa. And funny enough, just after exactly 5 minutes, my screensaver came on. And yeah, just like it's supposed to, funny enough. So yeah. Um, anyway, I've got all this time, and I realize that after so much time, people will stop listening to me. So if you've actually got the attention span to maintain with me this long, understand that I'm just trying to make sure that people don't fucking off themselves. What I'm trying to attempt to do is actually get people high in the real fashion that I have discovered how to. Because I can tell you guys this much. I myself started out smoking the cheap garbage that's brought over from Mexico. So, I know how to use poorly put together, but the natural thing and getting the most out of it. So believe me, I've been in this country for over a decade, and I can tell you still to this day that I am still trying to get used to the naturally occurring things that are in this country. And I'm talking about blue mushrooms. I'm talking about well put together, well grown, non-chemically screwed with what you refer to here as bush. Yeah, see, coming out with an American accent and saying that, it's a good mask. And I've spent a long time learning the language here. And I can tell you it's very difficult having an American accent and talking to Aussies as I actually am, but don't ever sound like. So, I figured this is actually an easier way for me to put some messages out there, because this form of communication, people, I don't know if you're aware of this, but The Simpsons really did tell you the truth. The internet was originally designed for scientists to compare data sets with each other, to make university work that much easier. And it's turned out that we've actually created, I don't know if you've figured out the meaning of the words global village. Well, welcome to the hermit's cave.